Hi guys, today we are going to discuss about loops in Python. So what is loop? What is the use of loop? And when you will use loops in programming while solving the problems? Everything will get it. So first we go through some theory part of that. What is loop and all, and we'll go through the syntax. And after that, we are going to do some examples on loop statement in Python. So before going to start any example on loop, first let's have a theory part of that. Loops and their importance. Okay. In a programming language, a loop is a statement that contains instructions that are continuously repeats until the certain condition is reached. So that means that whatever code you want to repeat for all the values in the loops, that time we can simply keep those statements inside that loop block. So whatever code you are keeping inside the loop block, that code is going to be executed for every iteration of the loop. What is iteration? What is looping and all? We are going to discuss with syntax, but just remember this statement. Loops helps us to remove the redundancy of the code when a task has to be repeated several times. So note it down. I will discuss this point again while writing some examples. So with the use of loops, we can cut sort those 100 lines of code to few. So if you whenever you are writing some repetitive code, instead of repeating the same code again and again, and you can simply keep that into inside the loop, and that particular loop is going to be executed uh, those statements for every iteration. Okay. So let me go here. What is iteration and all? I will tell you later. But how many loops are there in Python? Loop types in Python. So we have a for loop, we have a while loop, we have a nested loop. Nested loop is not any concept, guys. I mean, any other type of loop, but nested in the sense, if you are writing one loop statement inside another loop statement, that one we call it as a nested. Same thing is applicable for the while loop also. If you are writing while loop inside another while loop, that we call it as nested loop or any loop. Okay, clear, guys? So we how many loops are there? Loop types are there in Python. We have only two: for loop and while loop. I just introduced nested to remember the concept. For loop and while loop. What is for loop and how to write programs by using for loop statement and all we will discuss. Tomorrow we discuss about while loop. So for loop, a for loop is a for loop is used to iterate over a sequences like list, type, dictionaries, sets, and even strings. So a for loop is used to iterate over the collection of items. Okay. Say if whatever thing is storing data more than one value, we can iterate over that particular object and apply the some code for every item in that loop. So the syntax of for loop is something like this: for in iterator, for item in iterator, and here is the source code. See, here statements is nothing but the code you want to execute when loop is starting. Okay, when this loop is starting. For example, here for is the built-in keyword. This is the variable name. In is the built-in keyword. This is the collection or iterable or sequence object. So after that we use the colon. After that enter. Here we given the indentation because we given four spaces so that Python will treat whatever code available inside this block, that is the for loop block, right? So that when this code is going to execute, when the iteration is happening in the loop, if iteration stops, these statements are not going to execute. So if loop is iterating 10 times this particular code is going to be executed. Okay. So let me show you the syntax and do some examples. We are going to understand the purpose of this for loop. Okay, let me go here. Create a new file here, Python file, loops. So in simple terms, syntax is something like this. Syntax. Okay. The loop syntax is for var name in iterable or sequence object. Iterable object or sequence object. What is iterable? What is sequence? You will get to know definitely. So we do so many examples. After that, we given the colon. Enter. It Python follows the indentation, right? We have to give 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we write the statements. Statements are code, guys. Okay, whatever it is. So with this level, after giving 4 spaces, whatever code we write with this indentation level, that code belongs to the for loop. So when this code is executing, when the for loop is happening, okay, when the for loop is happening. So let's do write some example. Write a program. Write a program to print all numbers in given list. So this is very simple program. So here what I'm doing, write a program to print all numbers in a given list. For example, I have a data, okay, one list two, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. So what is our requirement here? Write a program to print all numbers in the given list. This is the given list. I want to print every number. Okay. Let's say without loop. Let's do without loop. After that, we do with loop. Okay. You are going to see the advantage of loops now. Okay. First, I am going to write this program without using the loop concept. Okay. After that, I'm going to discuss about with loop. How do you achieve the same thing using the loop statement in Python? So it is a list object, right? If it is a list object, how do you access how do you access elements? By using index position, right, guys? Either positive index position or negative index. It's up to you. Okay. Let's say item 1 equal to data of 0. Item 1 data of 0 means what will get? We'll get 1, right? Output will be 1. This is going to fetch this first value. So this value is going to store into this variable. What I'm going to do, print item 1. After that, item 2. Because my requirement is to print all of members in the list, right? I want to print the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the output. So here I fetched the first value and store into this variable, printing it. I am fetching the second value. It is going to return what? 2, right? Print item 2. So like this, I'm just going to copy paste this stuff for speed up purpose. Item 3. 3. Item 3 means here we have to give right 2, right? If it is 2, 0, 1, 2. Here 3 will be printed. I'm just writing for your reference. Item 4. Here we have to give 3. Data of 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 will come, right? 4 will come. So now I'm writing the same thing. Item 5. Here item 5. So if it is item 5, what value do if you give 4 here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I am getting 5. So there is no other index rate to access that. We write in code for to access every element in the list. So now if I run this program, see what is happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am able to print it or not? Everyone able to follow till now?
Yeah. Print.
Please confirm everyone able to follow till now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now see, input is always same, right? Here, if you observe it, we are doing the same logic, right? Our requirement is to print every item. Printing is same thing, right? We are repeating the print statement logic different times, right? This is the repetitive, right? Redundancy of the code. So this is one point. And next point is our input is not always same, right? This time we have only 5 values. Okay, in reality we can have 1000 values also, right? So that means if your requirement changes for 1000 values, are you going to come here write a code for 1000 times? If requirement comes to print the 10 lakh values, are you going to write 10 lakhs lines of code here? 10 lakhs into 2, right? 10 lakhs into 2, 20 lakh lines of code? No, right? Are you able to follow?
No.
See, are you able to follow this statement? Then input is always dynamic. Okay, so we don't know how many values will come if you are handling multiple values, kind of input. It depends on the user. Some user may give 4 values, some user may give only 1 value, some user may give 100 values, some user may need to deal with the 1000 values. So here the thing is input is always dynamic. So if 1000 times come, we should not write change the source code to handle the 1000 input values, right? Are you able to follow? So here, if I am going to write here, how many lines I have written here, these many lines, just to print these 5 values array. If I use with loop, how I am going to do it? For syntax, let's have a look into syntax. For var is nothing but the variable name. You can give any name here. Iterable or sequence is nothing but the list or any other object. Or any other object. As per this, I'm going to construct the syntax here. For num in data, right? Print num. For num in data, print num. So here, this is the variable name. This is the iterable or sequence object. In our case, which object are we dealing? We are dealing with list. That list is stored here. For num in data and print num. What is happening? For loop will, let me copy this to below, guys, for your understanding. Copy this to little bit below. Yeah, here. If you observe it, data is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With loop for num in data, print num. Let's see it. With the print, right? Let me run this program. This output is coming without print, right? After with the print statement, I am just printing this. This output is coming with for loop. Sorry, with for loop. How to say? Coming now with for. I am able to print the same. I am able to achieve the same task by using for loop, right? See here, how many lines I have written. This is not a scalable solution, right? For example, if I change value here 6, 7, see the difference here. In the first two, without using loop, it is just printing till 5. This code is not handling 6 and 7 because our code is written to only handle the until this index position. But if you use loop, right? If you use loop, am I able to get the new values or not? See it. It's not coming. Oh, sorry, guys. I have to write this same thing. Same logic, just maintaining this. Loop is handling dynamic values or not? here we have a data. Okay, without loop, we are printing that. But here, in order to handle these two values, we need to come over here and again need to write the source code, right? But if it is a loop, you just write this syntax and write code, whatever code you want to execute by using this value. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When I run this program, is for loop is handling all values or not? If I write some other code, lines of code, let's say 8, 8, 9. Let me run this program. For loop is printing till 9 or not? But without for loop is not handling anything. Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Are you able to follow till now?
Yeah. Yes.
So that means that even though our list can be 9, even though if we have 1,000 values, some random values, I'm just taking some random values, still our loop is going to work, guys. Okay, just taking some random values, see it. See it. All values printing are not for, but without for, even though this data contains till 7, it is just printing only till 5, right? Without for. In order to deal with these two, we have to write the change the source code here. You need to add 2 lines. If your input is, we don't know the input size, right? We cannot do like this. So in those cases, for every dynamic scenarios, we go with the loops only. Okay. Are you able to follow here?
Yes.
Yeah. Now let's see what is happening internally. What for loop is doing internally. See here anyone understood this requirement? Do addition with 3 for all numbers in the data. So that means that here we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? For num in data, print num. Let me run this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming. So our requirement is to add, we have to do addition operation for every item in the list. So how am I able to do addition operation for every item in the list? If I do every item in the list, what is the output, guys? 1 plus 3. 1, no? This is one item, right? 1 plus 3. What is the output? 4. Right? After that, second item. 2 plus 3. 5, right? Comma. 3 plus 3.
6.
6. Comma. 4 plus 3.
7.
7. Comma. 5 plus 3.
8.
8. This is the output I am expecting, right? See, do addition operation with 3 for all numbers in the list. These are the all numbers. I want to do addition with this item and 3, this item and 3, this item and 3, this item and 3. How are you going to do that? So here what is happening? Let me explain it. Whenever the for loop is start executing here, for loop will fetch the first item and store into this variable. Fetch the first item, store into this variable. So inside this block context, inside this for loop, if I refer num, it will give the whatever value for loop is stored here. In iteration 1, very first time, what is the first item? This one only, right? Num value will be the 1. Print num. Here num is coming na 1 printed. It will go and fetch the second value again. Assign this value to num, same variable. When I refer num, print num 2, right? Second iteration. 2 is printing here. And it will go to the third item. Num value is 3 now. 3 print num means 3 printed. Num value is 4. Print num means 4 is printed. Num value is 5. Print num means 5 is printed. So like this, we can have any number of values inside this list. Okay. I'm able to print it or not. So here I can simply give just plus 3, right? What is happening here? When I do plus 3, very first time num value is 1, right? Iteration 1. What is num value? Num is equal to 1, right? If num is equal to 1, 1 plus 1 means 4.
4.
Okay, first let me run this program. Getting as per our expected output, first value is 4. Second value is 5, right? 6, 7, 8. Our output is coming or not? Coming, right? All numbers are coming. So here for num in data, num is very first time, what is the first value? Num is equal to 1. 1 plus 3. What is the output here? 1 plus 3. What is the output?
4.
What is 1? Num value is 1 right now. 1 plus this 3. 4. 4 is printed here. And after that, after executing this loop, it will go and fetch the second item in the second iteration. What is the next value 2, right? Now num value is 2. Num is equal to 2. Here num plus 3.
5.
That means that here what is num value 2? 2 plus 3. 5, right? 5 printed here. And it will go and fetch the next value again. 3. Now num value is 3. 3 plus 3. Num is 3, right? 3 plus 3. 6. And it will go and fetch the other value, next value. In the third, after next iteration. So num is 4 now. Num value is 4. 4 plus 3. 7. Okay. Now it will go and fetch the next value. 5. Here num plus 3 means 5 plus 3. What is the output? 8.
8.
So now after that it will go check here. Is there any next item? No, right? So it reached the end of the list. So Python will internally stop this loop iteration. Stop this loop iteration. Control goes out of the loop. Outside, for example. Here, when I print it here, outside is coming after printing these all numbers, right? Outside print statement is executing only after printing these many numbers. Yes or no?
Yes.
That means that this print statement is going to be executed based on the loop iterations. If this loop is iterated 10 times, this print statement is going to execute 10 times. But this print statement is not inside the loop. This print statement is equivalent to the for loop. So whenever this for loop is getting completed, after that it will Python control comes out of this for loop and start executing the other program in the other lines of code in the script. So how Python know when it's going to stop? When the iteration is completed, there are no more items left to iterate. Python internally stop this looping and comes out of this loop executing other lines of code in the script. Are you clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So let's do another example. Write a program to print all chars in given string. Okay. Let's say val equal to, I'm taking some random string. Python. For Karen val, print char. Let me run this program. Am I getting or not? Individual characters. Okay. And convert every char into uppercase. So I can simply call dot upper. Okay, do not worry about this function. This upper is a string function. What it does is it will just convert this string into the uppercase and return that. So let me show you this. Coming in uppercase now. So what is our program here? Write a program to print all chars in given string. And convert every char into the uppercase. Here, this is my string. Previously, as it is printed, right? But just now we added converse, dot upper. It converted it to uppercase, returning in the output. The concept is, are you able to iterate over the string or not? It's possible, right?
False.
Okay. Write a program to iterate over a tuple object. So tuple object in the sense, let's say colors equal to green comma white comma orange comma. Let's say we have these many items in the tuple. How many items there? 1, 2, 3, 4 items are there in the tuple. So let's see it. For color in colors, print color, print color. Am I able to print all colors or not? That means that tuple can also be used as a iterable object in the for loop, right? For loop can be used to iterate over the tuple. For loop can be used to iterate over the string. For loop can be used to iterate over the list also, right? It's quite possible. And convert into title case. Title case అంటే ఏంటి? ఫస్ట్ క్యారెక్టర్ అంతా క్యాపిటల్ లో రావాలి కదా సార్. దట్స్ వాట్ టైటిల్ కేస్. సింప్లీ డాట్ టైటిల్. కమింగ్ నా green, white, orange, red. If I add another color, we writing in the loop, right? It automatically come. So our loop is very dynamic. It can handle any number of times. This for loop is going to be executed those many times based on the length of the given list or given iterable object. So this is how we can iterate over the loops. So now let's write another example. Write a program to check. Write a program to print only even numbers from given list. Okay, write a program to print only even numbers from given list. We know what is the even numbers, right? So let's say numbers equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 100. So just assume that we have these many numbers. So this is just a sample input. You could expect any number of items inside this list. So simply for num in numbers, if num module, everyone know this logic already. That's why I'm going a little bit fast here, fastly. So print num, right? So what is our program? What is our exact problem here? Solution. What solution we have to provide here? Write a program to print only even numbers from the given list. This is the given list. In this, what is the even number? 2, 4, 6, and 100, right? These are the even numbers. So for num in num, so 1 will come, 1 module 2. Second iteration 2 module 2. Third iteration 3 module 3. 4 module 4. So this particular piece of code is going to be executed for every item in this list. So how many times this is going to execute? It totally depends on the length of this list. This contains 100 items. This is going to be executed 100 times. This contains only 2 items. This is going to be executed only 2 times. So iterations based on this contains only single item. This is going to execute only single time. Clear, guys? Loop, how many iterations is totally depends on the length of the given iterable object. So let me run this program. 2, 4, 600, right? Is it true? Our program is very dynamic. Let me add some 44, 22, 26. Run our code. Coming enough? Let me add 21. 21 is not the even number, right? 21 is not coming, CAT. So input could be any number, very dynamic. So our logic is going to be executed by every item. So if this condition satisfies, it just print that. If condition not satisfied, this print statement is not going to execute. This is for loop block. Inside this for we have a if block. Inside this is the if block statement, if block code. So when this code is going to execute, when the for loop is starting the iteration. When this code is going to execute, when this condition is true, then only this particular statement is going to execute. So you guys already know how if is going to execute, right? So only thing is now we have written if statement inside the loop. Num is coming in every iteration, new value will come. For every new value, this particular formula getting applied here and produce the output. Are you clear, guys? Any doubts?
Yeah, clear.
Everyone, please tell me. Any doubts?
Yes.
Okay. Let me stop the recording.